Yes, good morning. Last class we were discussing about the present worth analysis. So today we discuss the different problems in this present worth analysis. If you look at this problem, Alpha Industry is planning to expand its production operation, and it has identified 3 different technologies for meeting the goal. So they have planned for expanding their operation, and they have identified the 3 different technologies, okay, to meet this goal. And the initial outlay, see, the initial outlay means the expenditure, initial expenditure, and annual revenues with respect to each of the technologies are summarized. Okay, and suggest the best technology which is to be implemented based on the present worth method of comparison, assuming 20% is the interest rate compounded annually. So he is mentioning clearly you need to choose the best alternative or best technology among these three using the present worth method of comparison. So using the present worth means for each alternative you need to calculate the present worth of alternative 1, present worth of alternative 2, present worth of alternative 3. So based on the revenue dominated or cost dominated cash flow diagram, we need to go for best alternative. So if it is a revenue dominated, then you need to go for the positive. So positive net present worth, which is having the highest present worth, that will be chosen as the best alternative. So here, if you look at the problem, then there are 3 alternatives. So first we'll take the alternative 1. First we'll take the alternative 1. So what is the alternative 1 says? So alternative 1 is nothing but technology 1. So we'll go with by given data. So what is the given data here? If you look at that initial outlay, that is nothing but initial outlay for the technology 1, initial outlay, which is equal to, we can say P, which is given as, we'll be taking as P, and that is equal to, which is rupees 12 lakhs, means the initial outlay which will be taken as initial expenditure, and the annual revenue is given as rupees, that is annual revenue, we can say the every year the annuity, we can say the annuity is given as rupees 4 lakhs, means there is an annuity at the end of every year, which is a cash inflow for the organization. And next data is given as time period or life of this technology. Life of technology 1 is equal to, that is, I can say n is equal to 10 years. And also he has given the rate of interest. The rate of interest is given as 20%. Rate of interest is given as 20%, that is I is given as 20% compounded annually. So this is what he has given the data. So once you given the data, then you need to go for the cash flow diagram. So how to draw the cash flow diagram based on the given data? See, I'll draw a cash flow diagram starting from 0, then 1, say, then 2, and so on. Because it is for 10 years, so I will be taking as like this. So this is the 10th year, and in the initial outlay is mentioned as 12 lakhs. So that I'll show here as initial expenditure is 12 lakhs, means the P, which is equal to 12 lakhs, rupees 12 lakhs. Okay, and every year there is a annuity amount which is 4 lakhs. There is a cash inflow. At the end of every year. We have 4 lakhs as the income. So here, even though this also 4 lakhs, and at the end of 10th year also we have 4 lakhs. So this is the cash flow diagram for the given problem at I is equal to 20%. Rate of interest is given as 20%. So once you know that cash flow diagram, you can go for yeah, you can go for which formula I can use, because I need to find out the present worth of this cash flow diagram. So present worth, if I want to find out, so present worth for the given cash flow diagram, that is, I can say it is in bracket, I can say present worth, say PW present worth at rate of interest I is equal to 20%. We are doing for I is at 20%, I is equal to 20%. This is for alternative one. So present worth means we need to calculate the what is the present worth of each cash flow. So here there is this forms the uniform series of same cash flow. So it shows the annuity here. So for this, as it is a revenue dominated cash flow diagram, the expenditure will be taken as negative and the revenues will be taken as positive. So here the present worth in the initial cash flow, if I look at this, 12,000 will be taken as negative, minus 12,000, sorry, 12 lakhs, minus 12 lakhs. And then if you look at this forms a series of cash flow diagram, right? Uniform series of cash flow diagram. So at a time I'll take all into consideration. So I use this interest factor. I use the interest factor here. So all the revenues, I'll take it as positive, and rupees 4 lakhs. So this is nothing but I'll use the formula. Okay, first I'll write the formula so that it will be easy for you to understand how the formula is written. So then you can go for the substitution, right? So here the negative, we are going to show the negative for the expenditure in the case of revenue dominated cash flow diagram. Then the annuity is there. So annuity into, so what you are finding the present worth for the given A, and for I is equal to how much? For I is equal to 20%. For I is equal to 20%, and for how many years? It is for 10 years. So in a single shot, because all these cash flows represent the uniform series of payments, so I can use this interest factor straight away without calculating for individual cash flows, without calculating the present worth of individual cash flow. I can use this formula, and then straight away for all these cash flows, one single interest factor can be written to find the present worth. So I am finding the present worth for the given annuity, So this equation is enough. Now we are going to substitute. This minus P is, that is 12 lakhs, minus 12 lakhs, plus the annuity is given as 4 lakhs. Then as I told that P by A, 20%, 10, I can use the formula also. I can use the direct compound interest factor. So this is the interest factor, and you can get it from the compound interest tables. The data can be obtained from the compound interest tables. So I think the tables I have given to you. So for the 20%, and for the time period is 10 years, I'll be getting for the P by A factor, that is 4. I'll be getting from the table 4.1925. So if you look into the factors compound interest tables, it will be easy for you to find out the 4.1925 for this factor. Okay, so by using this, I'll be getting minus 12 lakhs. Then so roughly it is around 16 lakhs 77,000. So I'll be getting rupees 4 lakhs 77,000 is the present worth of the alternative one. So now we'll go for the technology 2. Technology 2 is mentioning that, so this is the technology 1. So for the technology 2, there is an initial outlay is 20 lakhs and annual revenue is 6 lakhs. So I'll take this 20 lakhs and 6 lakhs as the revenue. So once again, alternative 2 to be taken. So this is the one which I have got. That is the present worth for the alternative 1, present worth for the alternative 1. I can say present worth for alternative 1. So here, or you can say PW1. Now we'll go for the second alternative, which is mentioned is alternative 2, that is technology 2. Alternative 2, that is technology 2. So what is mentioned is initial outlay is 20 lakhs and technology 2. So given data for this technology 2 is initial outlay, as usual, initial outlay, which will be taken as P, that is initial expenditure at the time 0. So that is given as rupees 20 lakhs, rupees 20 lakhs. Then he has given that annual revenue is 6 lakhs. Annual revenue that is taken as A, that is rupees 6 lakhs for this. Then life or rate of interest we can take. Rate of interest is given as I is equal to 20% compounded annually. Compounded annually. Next is he has given the life of this technology, that is we can take it as N for 10 years. For 10 years. So we need to find out the present worth. We need to find out the present worth for the alternative 2. So based on this given data for the technology 2, I'm going to calculate, I'm going to draw the cash flow diagram first. So draw the cash flow diagram is initial expenditure at time 0, it is 20 lakhs. Let's say 20 lakhs. Then we have at the end of every year, I will give the breakage at the end of the 10th year. I'll see at the end of the 10th year, there is a revenue of 6 lakhs every year. There is a revenue of 6 lakhs every year. So I'll be showing this is 6 lakhs. And here is also 6 lakhs. And here is also 6 lakhs. So this is the cash flow diagram. At the end of 10th year is also, it is 6 lakhs. So now if you look at this, and also I is given as 20% compounded annually. So from this cash flow diagram, once again, you can know that this is a revenue dominated cash flow diagram. Then the present worth equation can be written as present worth equation. Present worth equation means for each cash flow, you are going to find out the present worth for I is equal to 20%. This is for second alternative. So here, if you look at this, I'll write this as a revenue dominated cash flow diagram. So the expenditure will be taken as negative and all the revenues will be taken as positive. So rather than calculating for each alternative, it will be forming as a uniform series of payments. So straight away I can use the equation for the given annuity, and I'm going to calculate the present worth value or present amount, and for the given annuity, and I is for 20% and N is equal to 10 years. So based on this equation, I can use the I can calculate the present worth. So now my substitution. So minus 20 lakhs plus annuity is 6 lakhs. Then I'm substituting the factor P by A, comma I is 20% and N is equal to 10. So using the compound interest tables, use the compound interest tables to find the factor from the table. Okay, so now I can use this equation to calculate the factor from the table. I have got, if you look at the table for 20% and the rate of for I is equal to 20% and N is equal to 10 years, I'll be getting around 4.19, because it will be same for all the In the previous problem also we have taken the P by A 2010. So that is also same. So here also I'll be getting 4.1925. Right. So now by simplification, I'll be getting around 25, 15, 500. So it will be rupees 5 lakhs of 15,000, then 500. 5 lakhs 15,500. So this is for present worth amount of the alternative 2. Alternative 2. So PW1 we got and PW2 we got this much, and now we need to look for the third alternative. So technology 3. What is the technology 3? So yeah, technology 3 is 18 lakhs and 5 lakhs is the revenue. Technology 3 cost is 18 lakhs and the revenue is 5 lakhs. The revenue is 5 lakhs. So based on that, once again I'll go for writing the technology alternative 3, writing the alternative 3. For all the alternatives, calculation is similar. Technology 3. Then procedure is also similar. So write down the given data. So what is given data? So it is 18 lakhs and 5 lakhs, right? So initial outlay or initial expenditure, which is taken as P and which is given as rupees 18 lakhs. Then the annual revenue is also mentioned. Annual revenue for this alternative is rupees 5 lakhs. And the rate of interest, which you know that it is mentioned as same for all the three in alternatives, that is I is equal to 20% compounded annually. And also we have given the life of this technology is, we can take it as 10 years. And once you know this, what you call the data, then based on the data, we can go for constructing the cash flow diagram. So how to draw the cash flow diagram? So starting from zero, and say at the end of first year, say at the end of second year, say at the end of third year, and you can give the break and you can show the 10th year. So initial outlay is the expenditure, so it will be shown as, this is the P, which is equal to rupees 18 lakhs. Why I'm taking this as a P? In the sense it is a initial amount, that is at time 0. At time 0 we are taking the initial expenditure as taken as P. Now at the end of every year, I have the annuity of 5 lakhs. So 5 lakhs annuity. Then at the end of second year also, I have 5 lakhs is the annuity. Then at the end of the third year, we have the 5 lakhs as the annuity. And also at the end of the 10th year also, we have 5 lakhs as the annuity. So by looking at the cash flow diagram, I is equal to 20%, we know that this is a revenue dominated cash flow diagram. It is a revenue dominated cash flow diagram. So in the revenue dominated cash flow diagram, we have all the revenues will be taken as positive. So revenues taken as positive, and expenditures is taken as negative. So based on this, okay, I am writing the formula for the present worth amount. So here I am going to calculate the why I am calculating for all the alternatives present worth, in the sense because it is asking for choose the present worth method of comparison. So I am calculating the present worth of each alternative and comparing these alternative and choose the best alternative based on the having the maximum present worth among these three alternatives. So present worth alternative. No, I'm going to calculate the present worth for alternative 3. So PW3 for I is equal to 20%. So if I write the equation, as I told that expenditure is negative. So this is the expenditure. So I'll be taken as minus P. Then if you look at all these forms as a uniform series of payments, so I'll be taking as annuity into, I'm going to find out the, for these uniform payment series, I'll be finding the present amount. So P by A comma I comma N. So this is the formula I can use for calculation of present worth, So similarly, substitution of these values in this equation. So minus 18 lakhs. Annuity is given as 5 lakhs. Then the factor P by A, I is 20% and N is given as 10. Okay. So here I'm going to find out this factor from the table. So this factor I'm going to find out from the table. So which factor? This factor is from compound interest tables. So I'm going to find out from compound interest tables. Okay. So from this, anyhow, for all the threes, it is same because the factor is same for all the three alternatives. So 5 lakhs. Then I got 4.1925. So from this, by simplification, 18 lakhs. Then you can go by simplifying this. I'm going to get around 20 something, 20.96. Huh? Okay, 20 lakhs 96,250 rupees. 250. So by subtraction of these two, I'm be getting rupees 2,96,250 rupees. So this is the present worth amount of the alternative 3. So from this, I have calculated all the present worth of each alternative. So if I show the present worth of the alternative 1, which you have calculated in the beginning. So what is the present worth of the alternative from which you have calculated? So if you look at PW1 is 4.77, 4,77,000. It is rupees 4,77,000. And PW2, that is rupees, how much is that present worth amount for the second alternative? It is 5,15,500. 5,15,500. Then the present worth of the alternative 3 is rupees 2,96,250. So here we need to choose. The best alternative. How to choose the best alternative? Which is the technology 1 is the best alternative, technology 2 is the best alternative, technology 3 is the best alternative. So based on what we are going to do is, here as the cash flows, from the cash flow we can say that it is a revenue dominated cash flow. So look at the which gives the more revenue or more present worth, which gives the high present worth. That will be the best alternative. So among these, if you look at the present worth 2 is higher than these two, than present worth 1 and present worth 3. So we can choose. So the present worth of technology 2 is the maximum among all three technologies. Okay, so that is based on this. So hence technology 2 is suggested. Technology 2 is suggested for the implementation to expand the production process, right? To expand the production. So this is the statement which to be written at the end of your calculation of present worth 1 is done, then present worth 2 is calculated, present worth 3 is also calculated for all the three alternatives. And among these three alternatives, because it is a revenue dominated cash flow diagram, so it is a revenue dominated problem, so we need to look at the which gives the more present worth value. We have maximum present worth value which is having, that will be chosen as the best alternative. So that is why the technology 2 is suggested. The technology 2 is suggested for the implementation to expand the production process. So this is about the present worth comparison, how we are going to do and how you are going to take the decision based on the present worth calculations. So similarly here I will take one more problem. Yeah. If you look at this problem, that is, he has mentioned that, okay, anyhow, this is not visible. Okay, right. So now it is visible. So he's in this problem, an engineer has 2 bids for an elevator to be installed in a new building. So he is going for installing his elevator in his new building. So the details of the bids for the elevators means those who are going to supply the elevators. So they have given their bid. That is, there are 2 companies are there. One is Alpha Elevator Incorporation and the Beta Elevator Incorporation. So for their estimations has given, and they're given that the initial cost for the elevator is given as 4,50,000, and service life for the elevator is given as 15 years, and there will be a operation and maintenance cost every year for this from this Alpha side. It is given as 27,000, and Beta elevator, he has given that rupees initial cost is going to be 5,40,000, and the service is 15 years, and the annual operations and maintenance cost is mentioned as 28,500. So determine which bid should be accepted. So based on the present worth, comparison, present worth method of comparison, assuming that 15% interest rate, 15% interest rate compounded annually. So this is the problem which is given. So if you look at this now, yeah. So there are so a company is, a person is going to invest on the buying of elevator from the 2 bid. The bids, 2 bids are there. So 2 suppliers are there. That is Alpha Elevator and the Beta Elevator, and they have mentioned what is the cost of that elevators and the service life of that elevator, and as well as the maintenance cost for the elevator. So first we'll take the alternative 1. So he's asking to find out which is going to be the best, or which one I'm going to be accepted. So alternative one I am taking as, say it is a alpha elevator incorporation. So for this, you can write the what is the given data. So given data is given that initial cost. So initial means it is at time 0. So initial cost, which will be taken as P, which is taken as rupees 4,50,000, and rupees 4,50,000, and is given that service life, which is equal to I can say n, that is for 15 years. N is for 15 years, and the annual and maintenance operations and maintenance cost, annual operations and maintenance cost. So annual operation and maintenance cost, which is equal to, this is annual, so that is why it is annuity, I can take it as annuity, and rupees 27,000 for this alternative. And also he has mentioned that the rate of interest is I is 15%. Rate of interest, that is I is equal to 15% compounded annually. So compounded annually. So this is what he has mentioned. That is what he has mentioned. So if you look at now, so based on the given data, first I'll draw the cash flow diagram. So initial cost he has mentioned, that is, it is a rupees. Okay, 4 lakhs. I'll write directly the numbers only. Rupees 4,50,000 at time 0. Okay, then 1. Okay, and then 2 and 3 and so on. There is a break is up to 15 years. So this is for 15 years. This is for 15 years, and I is equal to how much it is? 15% compounded annually. So I is given as 15% interest rate, which is compounded annually. Now at the end of every year, there will be a maintenance cost. Cost is it is a cash outflow because it is a maintenance cost. So cash outflow for the organization. So it is taken as 27,000, and second one is also 27,000. So there is an annuity. So it is an annuity. Every year it will be there. There will be a maintenance cost. So 27,000. So now this is the cost dominated. This is the cost dominated cash flow diagram. So in the previous problem, we have discussed the revenue dominated, and this is the cost dominated cash flow diagram. So in this will be taken, all the revenues will be taken as negative, all the expenditures, all costs, which will be taken as positive in this case, So in the cost dominated cash flow diagram, we have told that there is all the revenues will be taken as negative, and the remaining the cost will be taken as positive. So if you look at this cash flow diagram, I can write the equation for present worth, that is PW1 for I is equal to 15%. So as I told that the cost will be positive, so I'll write the initial cost, that is P, and even these are also cost, right? These are also cost, and it forms the uniform series of payments, that is annuity. So A into, I'm going to find out the P by A, comma I, comma N. So the formula is same here. Even I got the uniform series of payments. So P by A, comma I, comma N. So now, if I want to substitute this equation, that is rupees 4,50,000 plus annuity is how much? 27,000, and then P by A, comma I is how much? It is 15%. N is also 15 years. So this is obtained from compound interest tables. So you should know Why I am using plus sign here and also this also plus sign here, that is very important because it is a cost dominated cash flow diagram. In the cost dominated cash flow diagram, revenues will be taken as negative. So there is no revenue cash flow here. So if you look at all direction of arrows are downward only, that is nothing but all are represented the cost. So when it is all are represented cost, and this is a cost dominated cash flow diagram, and there is no revenues at all, so all will be taken as positive. So that is very important. Okay. So if you make the wherever if you take the plus is negative, then it goes wrong. So be careful taking the sign. So which one it comes under, is the revenue dominated or cost dominated cash flow diagram? Then based on that you need to go for. Based on that you need to go for. Now, so if you look at this substitution, I'll be getting 4,50,000 from the compound interest table for the P by A, comma 15, comma 15. I'll be getting around 5.8474. 5.8474. So by using this multiplication, simplification, I'll be getting around 1,57,879.80. Okay, so then I'll be getting rupees. How much it is? 6,07,879.80. So this is the present worth of the one. Present worth of alternative one. So this is the present worth of alternative one. Next, moving to the second one. Second alternative, that is beta elevators. That is nothing but beta elevators. So beta elevator incorporation has mentioned it is 5,40,000. It's 5,40,000 and 28,500. 5,40,000 and 28,500. So next is alternative 2. Alternative 2, that is beta elevator incorporation. So beta elevator incorporation. Okay, right. What is the given data? So it is similar for all the alternatives. So find out the initial given initial cost. It is rupees 5,40,000, right? 5,40,000. And also as mentioned, the service life, it is same for the both alternatives, that is n is equal to 15 years, and the rate of interest is also same. Rate of interest is also same, that is I is equal to 15% compounded annually. Then we have the annual operations and maintenance cost. Operations and maintenance cost. So that is given as A, and it is mentioned that rupees 28,500. 28,500. Right. So this is the given data. So from this, what I do is I'm going to draw the cash flow diagram. So at time 0, we have the initial cost of rupees of 5,40,000. Then at the end of first year, I have the annual maintenance cost, and at the end of second year, then at the end of third year, then finally at the end of 15th year. So what is the annual operation maintenance cost? So which is 28,500 and 28,500, then this also 28,500. So make the uniformity between this and this, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, like that. Make the uniform distance between this time period, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like that. Okay, right. So this is also a cost dominated cash flow diagram. It is a cost dominated cash flow diagram. So we can write the present worth equation. Present worth for the alternative 2 is at I is equal to 15%. So all the costs will be taken as positive. All the costs will be taken as positive. So P plus, and there is, it forms this forms the uniform series of payments, that is say A into P by A comma I comma N. So substitution rupees 5,40,000 is the initial cost. Then annuity is given as 28,500. P by A, I is 15%. Then service life is also 15 years. Service life is also 15 years. Now what we have to do is we had already taken the factor that is from the previous alternative. So 5,40,000, same factor can be written here. 28,500 into 5.8474. 5.8474. So by simplification, I'll be getting around 5,40,000 plus 28 into 5, around 1,66,650.90. Then rupees 7,06,650.90. So this is the present worth value of 2. Now I have 2 alternatives, so I have finished my calculation of calculating the present worth. Now, so what is the present worth 1? The present worth 1, if you look at this, present worth 1 is 607,879. So present worth 1 is equal to 607, and one more is 790, right? 879, 60879.80, and present worth 2 is rupees 7,06,650.90. So if you look at this two present worths, because it is a cost dominated cash flow diagram, will you go for a higher present worth or minimum present worth? Because it is a cost dominated, you will be looking at which is the minimum cost, that has to be chosen. So in the previous problem, it is a revenue dominated cash flow diagrams. So that's why their maximum present worth which is having that we have taken. Whereas in this case, because it is a cost dominated cash flow diagram, we will be taking the whichever the least present worth, that will be taken as best alternative. So we can say the total present worth of the bid 1 or bid 1 and bid 2. This is the bid 1 and this is a bid 2. Okay, so which is alpha and which is beta, and we are going to take the alpha elevator, that is bid 1 will be selected. Bid 1 is selected for implementation. Okay, so because it is the it shows the minimum present worth among 2. It shows the minimum present worth among 2. So that is how we can find out the which is the best alternative among the given alternatives. So if it is a revenue dominated cash flow diagram, choose the higher present worth, and if it is a cost dominated cash flow diagram, choose the lower present worth value. So with this I can stop today. And do you have a quiz? Go to the quiz.